This is the Our Voice 360 podcast, our perspectives, our way, keeping you in the know while you're on the go. This podcast was created with you in mind. On Our Voice 360, we'll give you inspiration, sports, business and leadership tips, Black history, and entertainment. This is a show built from our perspectives. So if you're ready to be entertained, inspired, laugh a little, be informed, and enlightened, tune in now to Our Voice 360. Let's go! Hey, everybody, welcome back to another edition of Our Voice 360, our perspectives, our ways. I'm one half of the host and crew, Chad Bumgarner, and I have with me my man, Pete Hunt.
What's good, family?
Hey, Pete, let's go ahead and run it, man.
And as always, our podcast is brought to you by Elect Graphics and Photography. Allow your visions to become reality. And CDB Consulting. Great leadership equals great results. How are you leading?
And as always, folks, if there's something you want to hear on the podcast, something you want us to dive into, give our perspectives, if you just want to give us any type of feedback, that would be great. And if you want to do so, please do not hesitate to contact us at our email address at ourvoice360@gmail.com. That's ourvoice360@gmail.com. Well, folks, today is going to be a short and sweet one today. To vaccinate or not to vaccinate, that's what we're looking at here. It's been a touchy situation since the pandemic broke out. And honestly, I kind of understand, let me say that, I kind of understand both sides. But at the end of the day, it seems like the original virus has mutated and is getting worse. And if we don't stop it, it will continue to get worse. And is ravaging our country and this world at an alarming rate, this Delta variant. And there's even a third one that's coming out that doctors are very, very concerned about. But before we get into that, I want to take a moment to spotlight kind of a new thing that we want to introduce to the show here, Black History Inventors. And we're going to start the show off with my man, James Edward Maceo West. James Edward Maceo West. The work of James West transformed the way people around the world hear and transmit sound. In '62, West, then a research scientist at Bell Laboratories, developed the foil electric microphone in partnership with his colleague, Dr. Gerhard M. Sessler. Until that time, most microphones which transform sound into an electrical signal needed a cumbersome and expensive battery in order to operate. By contrast, West and Sessler used an electric, and they spell it E-L-E-C-T-R-E-T, an electric, in their case, Teflon, to drive the sound conversion. Electrics are materials that are permanently charged or polarized following exposure to an electric field. The foil electric microphones saved space and money and proved quite sensitive to sound as well. It improved hearing aids, for instance, allowing those wearing them to take a walk without painful vibrations. The technology has also been used to aid with blood pressure readings and in the U.S. Space program. It is now the standard. It is now the standard in what we use every day and that we can't live without, and that is your cell phone. It's the standard in cell phones, computers, hearing aids, and audio recording equipment. Again, you have James Edward Maceo West to thank for his invention that is now part of the standard for cell phones, computers, hearing aids, any type of audio equipment. James Edward Maceo West. Appreciate that, my brother. Once again, our people are doing great things, but we don't hear about it. It's not in our history books. And if we don't give our people their flowers, then who will?
Exactly.
We have to make sure that we know the stock that which we come from, that we are capable to do any and everything that anybody else can do. The only downside to this is that there are a plethora of Black inventors
Right.
men and women alike,
Right.
that will rarely, if ever, be spotlighted or shown attention for the important work that they've contributed to
Hmm.
not only this country but to this world.
Right.
And in accomplishing such a feat like that, it would seem that that person would be well recognized, especially if not overall in general, at least in the technical industry.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Because of what he was able to do along with his research partner, dealing with sound and computers and things of that nature. So again, James Edward Maceo West. He was the one that helped transform the way people around the world would hear and transmit sound. That's huge.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
That is huge.
Because we're not doing this without it.
Exactly. I'm sitting here thinking
Hmm.
about, the very microphone that I'm using right now.
Right.
It wouldn't be the quality or the way that it was if it wasn't for Mr. West, who put in the research to make it happen. So shouts out to him. We want to shine a spotlight on him for this segment and just appreciate what he has contributed to the world. All right, folks. Let's move into this touchy topic here. We're talking about vaccinations. To vaccinate or not to vaccinate? That's the question. Um, my thing is, um, you should have the right to choose how you want to do this thing. It's your life. Um, I do understand that no vaccination is 100%
Nope.
as far as when it comes to side effects. There's always something.
Hmm.
But at the same time, you know, I don't think we've seen anything like this since the Spanish flu, I believe it was over
Yeah.
100 years
Oh.
ago. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
So, there's multiple ways you can look at it, Pete. I mean, let's just call it
Oh
what
yeah.
it is. There's multiple ways you can look at it. You can look at it like, and I know when it first came out, everybody, well, especially in the black community, was like, well, it's just another Tuskegee experiment. They're trying to get all the black folks to get this vaccine. But on the flip side of that is no, because in that situation, syphilis was only given to black
Hmm.
men
Right.
specifically,
Right. Hmm.
and their intent was to watch them to see how it would react on their
Effect. Yeah.
systems. They
Systems.
had no
Yeah.
intention of healing them.
Hmm. Hmm.
This vaccine is given to everybody.
Hmm.
When it first came out, I do remember on the news when you had people flying in from other countries when the vaccine first came out,
Hmm.
people flying in from other countries to Florida to get the vaccine.
Hmm.
Um, what else? Then there's this one gentleman who's I don't want to get in. I don't want to call him out, but because it's neither bad nor good to me. He's just trying to be informative. But he had a panel of doctors, and he was asking a bunch of you know, technical or health questions about
Hmm.
vaccinations in general.
Hmm.
And he was asking, you know, can people sue these pharmaceutical companies if the vaccine does something severely negative towards them or cause death?
Hmm.
And no, you cannot sue.
Hmm. Hmm.
You cannot sue. But at the same time, we're so concerned about this vaccine and what it has in it and what it doesn't and what it may or may not do that a lot of us don't give a second thought about the food we put into our bodies that
There
we
you
buy
go.
from the grocery store. We
Hmm.
don't know what the poultry or the other processed foods are are, are being used to preserve their shelf life. We just know it's good and we buy it.
Hmm.
Love double stuffed Oreos. I'm gonna get them, but do
Hmm.
you know what's in them? You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah.
All the carcinogens that are potentially in some of the meats. We give no second thought about it. Whether we go to Whole Foods, I remember years ago, Whole Foods got busted for um, selling poultry that said it was range free, antibiotics free, all this other stuff free, and turns out it was not.
Hmm.
So we put a lot of blind faith in the grocery stores and the processed food industries. But when it comes to medicine, we want to scratch our heads. And then, you've got some people that are, man, I'm gonna get in trouble for this, but enjoy using various narcotics for recreational purposes. And you have no idea what's in that, but you'll indulge in it.
There you go.
You'll indulge in it. So,
Mhm.
like I said, it's there's both ways to look at
Oh
this,
yeah.
and I respect both ways, whether you choose or not choose.
Hmm.
But it is a serious issue, Pete. And go ahead and weigh in on it, man.
For me, it's really simple to me, and like you said, I mean, you have the right to take the vaccine or not take the vaccine. That's I mean, that's up to you. And as black folk, I mean, we should be skeptical of
Mm-hmm.
the government. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
with and the medical community,
Mm-hmm.
they haven't been our best friends.
True.
And
Agreed.
through since we've been here since 1619, they haven't been our best friends. So as black folk, we are a skeptical people, and we should be. And I was extremely skeptical at first. I mean, because I'm like, yo, it took too long. I mean, it didn't take long enough. Vaccine, 7 to 10 years, before they develop the vaccine, it should be yada yada yada, this, that, and the third. And then, you go and do some research and listen to medical professionals that you trust. And, at the end of the day, okay, I decided to get the vaccine, which is,
Right.
my choice.
Right.
And so again, it's really, and I'm really looking at it from the aspect of people who are like super against the vaccine, which
Mm-hmm.
like I said, that's your business and you can do what you want to do. But the issue I have with that is, the spreading of the misinformation.
Right.
That's my biggest thing. If you don't want to take it, fine. That's cool. I mean, and that's your personal choice not to take it. That's
Mm-hmm.
fine. But then don't come out on your social media pages and this, that, and the third, and on TV and say X, Y, and Z, and you have no information to back up what you say.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
I
And
do.
see, and that's what's sparking a lot of this mistrust and and things of that sort. But like you said, Chad, you eat Fruit Loops,
Mm.
you eat Frosted Flakes, you eat. I mean, you don't know what's in cereal. If you look at the side of a cereal box and look at the bottom of it,
You got ingredients of
it
paint thinner.
yeah, you got stuff in there that you know.
That's true.
Uh,
And not to mention
so
restaurants. I mean,
yeah, I
some
mean anything. Well, and even other drugs. A lot of these people that are don't want to take the vaccine or anti-vax or whatever you want to call it. They're on other medications.
mm-hmm.
You didn't say think twice about that.
Sure didn't.
Those high blood pressure pills,
Right.
those anxiety pills, aspirin, now, Aleve. I mean, you see what I'm saying?
I do. No, no, no. I
And,
agree, Pete. And
and,
and I agree with you're saying too, especially with the misinformation aspect. That is so crucial. A lot of people are just spouting stuff just to get you um, to hesitate.
mhm,
You know what I mean? On whether you're going to get the vaccine or not. I mean, again, it's your choice, but if you're going to choose, use credible information.
mhm.
Don't sit here and listen to these quacks just spouting off. And the thing also that I hate, Pete, is that they're making it more political. It's not a political issue. It's a health issue.
It's about public health. Hmm.
Right. And that's the other thing that burns me up because now you're trying to politicize this thing.
Hmm.
I heard one woman say, God is my vaccine.
Okay. All right then. All right, Slim. All right, Slim. Okay, go ahead and roll with that. But my thing, and what's so funny about that part of it, Chad, that these super duper Christian folk that says God, Jesus, do you not think he made doctors
Right.
and other vaccine? So God didn't have no part in that.
Mm-mm.
You just gonna he's the omniscient, he's omniscient, right?
Mm-hmm.
Omnipresent. right?
Mm-hmm.
He this, that, and the third, but yet and still, you're gonna deviate and slice out what God can do, right? Hold on now.
Mm.
Are you putting, you putting
Are you limiting?
a governor
Mm.
on God? Is that what you saying, Christian lady, man, person?
Are you limiting God?
You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
none of it makes sense. And like I said, it's your decision on what you want to do. If
Mm-hmm.
you want to take it, cool, take it. If you don't want to take it, cool, don't take it. But my thing is this: stop with the misinformation and stop with the dividing and trying to divide people and yada yada. Just say you're not gonna take it, and and,
Right.
and and be done with that, and be
Right.
done with, and that's cool.
And the shaming of people is not cool either. You know what I'm saying?
True,
Regardless if you take it or
exactly,
not,
right,
we
right.
most of us are adults here. And
Mm-hmm.
I was just talking to my brother the other day, and I said it's so sad that a lot of adults, it's like it's the simplest concept. It's like, why can't you just agree to disagree and move on? You know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, my thing is, I have plenty of friends that, we may not agree on everything, and that's fine. You don't want somebody that's just like you
Mm-hmm.
all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it helps you to understand different points of views.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, true friendship can rest in, well, bro, you've exhausted your points, I've exhausted mine. We're just gonna have to agree to disagree on this
Right.
one. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And
Right.
then move on. But
Mm-hmm.
it's to the point where you had one celebrity the other day. I can't remember her name. She stopped following all of her friends on social media because they were not vaccinated. And I'm like, that's a bit much. My thing, and it brings me to this joke. This one guy was like, when he said this joke, I'm assuming he was for vaccination because he was like, if you don't want to take the vaccination, if you want to take out great grandma, if you want to take out your favorite aunt, if you want to take out your dad, fine, do it. Let's blank people in the world I got to deal with,
Mm-hmm.
but don't force it on me or don't try to politicize it. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Um, do your research, make your peace with your decision,
Mm-hmm.
and like I said, if you got a friend or family member that feels the other way, just agree to disagree and move on. It's not
Mm-hmm.
hard, but it's when you politicize it or when you try to shame somebody,
Mm-hmm.
uh, for either side, it doesn't help with the unity and it doesn't help with trying to figure out how to get this thing resolved. All we're doing is creating more divisiveness.
Yeah, and it's really funny from a certain sect of people that that's pushing the don't get vaccinated, don't do this, don't do that, yada yada yada, are the same people on these television shows that are required to be vaccinated to do their job. But you get on TV
Mm,
and say, and a lot, and let's be honest. I mean, a
yes.
lot, and it's real simple. Old boy, that I call
Yeah, I
him
know.
old
Yeah.
boy.
Oh, yeah.
Old boy kind of started this, what I'm saying, with his group of folk. And what's so funny is he was one of the first in line to get vaccinated.
He sure was when he came down with, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
yet still, but it's just, I mean, and like I said, at the end of the day, it's your decision on what you want to do.
Well,
But but
not to
but
go
it,
off on a tangent, but it was the same issue with the mask. I can't see myself wearing a mask. Oh boy, hey, it just makes you look weak. Wait a minute. A few months later, what I see you doing when you got off Air Force One? You was wearing a what? You was wearing a mask?
okay.
Hmm.
And that's another thing with the mask. I'm like, it's a piece of cloth. I mean, how hard is it to put a mask on? You put on a seatbelt when you get in a car.
And they mandated that. Nobody pitched a fit about that because that was optional. Remember before they
Yeah.
mandated it?
Mm-hmm.
After they went
Uh,
to the Senate and
yeah.
proved all those cases about if you're in a seatbelt, your chances of survival in an accident is umpteen% more than if you didn't wear one.
Mm-hmm.
The government was so bam mandate. Everybody has
Mm-hmm.
to wear a seatbelt. It's the law. Nobody out here in the streets. You're taking away my rights. I got a right to kill myself.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
It's just, I mean, you have to have shoes and a shirt on in most businesses
to be served. Yes.
to be served. You walk up in the store with shoes and a shirt on, right?
Okay, but Pete, I'm gonna
Yeah.
play devil's advocate. Now, some people
Okay.
can say, well,
I
that's
do.
different,
I
man.
do.
I mean, because that's not putting anything in my body. We're talking about
Okay.
putting something in my body that could potentially kill me.
Okay. I mean, I don't know you personally, but you drink liquor, you smoke cigarettes,
You drink that fire water?
yeah, you know what I'm saying? That you smoke that wacky tobacco. I mean,
Mm.
I mean, you take medications for certain ailments? I mean, what are we talking about?
They all have side effects. No matter how
Exactly.
major or minor, they all have side effects. That's true.
Exactly. So, I mean, but the kicker for me is when people say, well, I'm not going to take it unless the FDA approves it.
Yeah.
Okay,
I have.
hold on. Let me break this down for you. If you don't trust the government with the vaccine, why would you trust the government to approve the vaccine so you can take it? It's still the government. What are we
Pete,
doing?
Pete, that's too much like right.
I
They're
mean,
not thinking that thing through.
what are we doing? I'm
Yeah.
not gonna take it to the FDA approves it. Okay, the FDA is the government. You don't trust the government with the vaccine, right? So, all right then.
And here's the other thing. With the vaccines, and we're going to be fully transparent here. We're looking at both sides. There
Mhm.
have been people with the vaccine that have caught the virus and still died, but that's 0.0002% of 100%.
Mhm.
So it's like,
And
I
again, the
think I'll take
vaccine,
my chances.
and again, the vaccine is vaccines are not cures.
Right,
They never said that you wouldn't get it. It's
right.
like taking a flu shot. If you take a flu shot, you can still get the flu.
That's right.
But guess what? The side effects are not that bad. You may not
Hmm.
end up in the hospital. It'll end quicker. Your symptoms will end quicker. Your symptoms are not going to be as harsh.
And it's highly unlikely that you will die.
Exactly.
And that's the big. I mean, the like Dr. Fauci stated, the vaccine was put together to do two things: to minimize the symptoms if you did get it,
Hmm.
and to keep you out of the hospital.
Hmm.
That right there sold me.
And another thing, Chad, there with the time, and I know a lot of people are saying it with the time, but with vaccines back in the day, it was funding that was the problem. That's why it took so long.
Right,
It was funding.
right.
With this one, everybody pitched in, the world pitched in.
And see
So
that.
monies were available because this
Hmm.
was affecting folk around the world, just not in Topeka, Kansas. You see what I'm saying?
Money and resources. Yes,
And
sir.
resource, and folk was stepping up to the plate, testing, getting tested, putting the shot in their arm. You know what I'm saying? Sacrificing it
Hmm.
or whatever.
Hmm.
So I mean, this one is different. But again, it's your choice on what you want to do. You can take it or you cannot take it. That's
Right.
your choice. But as for me and mine, I
Hmm.
want to protect my people. I wanted to protect my wife and
Hmm.
my daughters and my granddaughter and my mama and my
And your
daddy.
daddy.
Cause,
Yeah.
yeah, because they're older.
The older. Right, right,
You know
right.
what I'm saying? And so it's for me. It was. I mean, was I skeptical? Like I said, it took me a minute
It
to.
did. It took me too. Yeah.
Yeah, it took me a minute to take
Hmm.
it. Now, yeah, like I said, full transparency, and then I just accepted a coaching job at a local high school here,
Hmm.
basketball job, coaching job. I'm around these young people, and this new variant is affecting young people more. This Delta
Yeah.
variant is affecting young people more than the original
It's
COVID.
taking them out, Pete.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
scary.
it's putting babies
Hmm. It's scary.
are dying now. Okay, yeah, it's time for me to go ahead and do what I need to do.
But see, the thing is, Pete, the thing is, it's like when you don't when you don't somehow get on one accord about how to fight this thing, which
Mhm.
we have not been as a world, not just the United
Yeah,
States.
exactly.
It just gave the virus time to mutate. That's why you have the Delta variant. It mutated. It
Mhm.
got smarter.
And it's going, and that's what viruses do.
Right. And if
That's
you
why you have to
don't
take a. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Correct.
if we still don't get together and do something, the third one is out now. And then that's what I was telling you. I think we was talking about that off air. And the doctors are really, really scared of this third one. It just keeps mutating because
Yeah.
we keep fighting amongst ourselves about what we're gonna do and not gonna do. Meanwhile, this virus is getting smarter and deadlier.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna get to the point. Well, now this is me interjecting. Let me be clear. I feel like it's gonna get to the point where it's gonna be like no matter what you do, it's just gonna have to run its course.
Mm-hmm.
There's no
Yeah.
running from it. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna have to run its course, and then we're gonna have to wait for it to die. And that's the dangerous part because then it's like you're helpless. We can't do anything. We just have to wait it out. And I don't want to be like that because now you're looking at potentially being quarantined again. Now, in the United States, you tell people you can't leave your communities or you can't leave your homes. That's going to be an uproar. But they're doing it in other countries to knock it out. And they're being successful with it. And I don't understand why we as Americans can't suck it up and just, if you don't want to get the vaccine, if you don't want to wear the mask, again, I respect that. But then let's all hunker down for a month, stay in our homes or stay on our property at minimum, and let this thing
Mm-mm.
clear out so we can kind of get back to a new normal. But it's like herding cats. It's like they you got people that just don't want to listen. Like, if it's meant for me to die, it's meant for me to die. Hey, that's your choice. But respect the other people around you. There's a couple of verses in the Bible. Let me be clear. I'm paraphrasing. This is not word for word. But it was like, if your brother has an issue with alcohol, or your brother has it, and this is just an example. If your brother has an issue with alcohol and both of y'all sitting at the bar, would you order a drink knowing that he is recovering from alcohol? Would you order a drink in front of that man? No, you wouldn't, because you don't want him to fall or backslide. So you get a water or a Sprite or something, because you don't want to disrespect and put that temptation in his face.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying that now. It's like, if we're suffering from this virus, if you don't want to get vaccinated, that's cool. I got no beef with you. But when you're around me, could you wear a mask?
Oh, that's yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah, that's
wear a
just how it's
mask.
going. Yeah, that's just how it's going to happen.
I
You
would
can't.
wear a
Yeah.
mask because
Mm-hmm.
even if I had the shot and gotten virus, I still want to respect the people who don't want to wear a mask.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we don't agree on this particular, I still don't want to infect you and possibly hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
So give me that same respect.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You walking up in my house. Yeah. You got to have a mask on. If I don't know you, yeah, you gonna put that thing on, pimping. You don't put that
Mhm.
on because you're not coming up in here without it. Because first of all, I don't know you.
Right.
And I mean, nah, it's just. But again, with this country, we have a sense of entitlement, and we're better than everybody, and you're not going to tell me what to do, and this, that, and the third, and that's a lot of posturing that's going on right now. Okay,
Hmm.
cool, and that's fine. I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's your business. But again, at the end of the day, what are you doing? What are you out here trying to help your fellow citizen,
Right.
or are you just gonna be selfish? And if you choose to be selfish, hey, that's your business. Do you? But when you around me, mask up, or don't be around me,
Right.
or don't be around me. I mean, that it is what it is. What it is, and I have the same when I'm out, I mask up because first of all, even though I'm vaxxed, I don't trust. As the young brother said in New Jack City, Nino don't trust them. Yeah. And if you've seen New Jack City, you know what I'm talking
You know
about.
exactly what we're
What
talking
I'm
about.
talking about.
That's
So
it, man.
again, but
The,
again,
the,
I mean, to each his own. Let's
yeah.
leave it at that. To each his own. If
To
that's what
each
you
his
want to
own.
do, if you want to take the vaccine, hey, cool. If you don't, cool. But please take the precautions. If you don't take it, make the precautions. Wear a mask, please. That's all we
Hmm.
ask.
Yep.
Just wear a mask.
Just
That's
wear a
all.
mask.
That's it. I mean, it's not that hard. And a piece and it's crazy that a piece of cloth
Causes so much drama.
is causing so much drama in grown people.
Yeah, because you
And,
got parents. My kids are suffocating in these masks. I'm like, well,
man, stop. Man, stop. Man.
why? I don't understand. What?
Mm.
You're not gonna make my kid wear this mask, and yada yada yada. And I'm like, Y'all
Yeah.
making it more than what it is.
Yeah.
You really are. Are you not seeing the news? Are you not seeing what's going on? First day of school in Florida, over 100 kids got the Delta variant.
Mhm.
Over 100.
Yeah.
Now that school system is shut down to, I think, virtual learning right now.
Mhm.
Over 100. The
Yeah.
governor there, DeSantis, was like, I'm not going to make my constituents wear masks. They
Okay,
have
cool.
the right to decide. And then soon after that, first day of school, over 100 kids.
They don't care nothing about that. It's about for those folk like that, those Republican governors. It's for they're in it to own the libs. They're in it to try to get it Biden or get it whoever, and that's their big thing because
But
they
at
don't care. It's
what
about but
cost?
they don't care about folk dying. This is about power, baby.
Yeah.
It's about getting this power,
Mm-hmm.
garnering this power back. That's what we trying to do. I'm caring about these folk dying. It ain't mine, so I don't care. So I mean, and that's their thought process. But again, man, for everybody, man, protect yourself. Try to protect
Please.
yourself as best you possibly can.
Please do. Please give give your fellow man respect. Because real quick, my thing was, I think the Biden administration messed up when they said during early part of the summer or midsummer, where if you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear masks. We're gonna go on the honor system. No, you can't use the
Nah,
honor
pimping.
system. First of all,
Nah,
you
pimping.
you can't use that word honor when the land was stolen over 400 something years ago. So
Ooh,
you
ooh,
can't
ooh.
you
That.
can't I don't know how he fixed his lips to say we're gonna use the honor system. Man, he may not have said that verbatim, but it was
You know
in
what it
so
is. You
many
know, yeah,
words.
yeah. When you
Yeah. Well, you're gonna have
when
people.
you ain't never been through nothing, and you ain't never been nothing stole from you, and you ain't never been bondage. You ain't never. Okay. All right, but that's Chad. We gonna leave that alone, brother. We gonna leave that.
But yeah,
Let's leave that alone.
yeah. It just hit me when he said that. I'm like, how can you?
Yeah.
It
I,
didn't add up to me. I'm like, there's no way you can use honor system in these United States. Now,
nah.
I don't know as much history about other countries, but I do know a lot about this one that we live in. And I think that was the wrong choice of words to use,
Yeah. Yeah.
to be honest with you, because that just made it worse. Because people out here walking around with no mask, talking about I'm vaccinated when they're not. You got people out here trying to get vaccination cards made when they're not vaccinated.
Hmm.
That's no different than cats being on the down low saying they not. You messing up a whole entire group of people by lying and
Wow.
putting people's health at risk.
Yep. Yep.
But I digress.
Mm. Ooh.
I digress. Woosah, Pete. Woosah. Woosah.
Yeah, I know, right? All right. Woosah for real.
What's up, Pete? Let's
uh,
let's 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 migrate into the book, man. We about to go off on another
oh,
level.
yeah, I
Man.
know, right? All right, for this week, our Voice 360 book of the week is not a book. It's actually a documentary.
Oh, documentary. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. The I Am Not Your Negro documentary by James Baldwin. Well, focusing on James Baldwin, I should say. I Am Not Your Negro documentary. Excellent, excellent documentary. Please go watch this if you haven't watched this. It's very educational. It's heart wrenching. It's going to touch all your emotions, and it's fantastic. It is fantastic. I mean, it's very thought provoking and something that everybody should watch. Again, that's I Am Not Your Negro documentary.
Can you elaborate on the documentary just a tad? Like what it's
Oh no,
about?
no, 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 no.
No.
We're not elaborating. We want folk to go watch it. And like I said, if they haven't watched it, please go watch it because I've watched it several times. I'm sure you have, Chad.
I have.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I have. It,
Yeah,
it is it
so
is everything you said it was.
exactly. So please go out and go to your streaming service. May have it for free, or Netflix or something to that effect. May have it out for free. But if not, you can go to Google Play or any streaming platform of your choosing and to watch it. But it is very important and very timely. So please go out and watch I Am Not Your Negro.
And the movie was done by Raoul Peck,
Hmm.
Peck. That's the director's name.
Hmm.
James Baldwin's in it, Dick Cavett, Samuel L. Jackson. Really good documentary. Yeah, I agree with you on that one, Pete. Yeah, that one right there will. Once you finish watching that one, you'll definitely sit back and ponder on
Oh,
what
yes,
you
sir.
just saw.
Yes, sir.
What
For sure.
yeah. All right, folks. I believe that's it. Oh no. I got the Bible verse, right? Yeah, I got to do that. The Bible verse or quote for the week. And it says, we're coming from Romans chapter 15, verse 5. And it reads, may God who gives this patience and encouragement help you live in complete harmony with each other as is fitting for the followers of Christ. So all you so-called Christians out there who claim you love the Lord, he's giving you patience and encouragement to help you live in complete harmony with each other as is fitting for the followers of Christ. So I'm gonna leave that alone because that goes back into George Floyd, and we don't want to touch on that. We're talking about vaccinations this segment. So I just want you Christians to think about your actions and how you follow Christ. Do you truly follow him, or do you just, do you bend the word around your life, or do you bend your life around the word? That's something for you to think about, not me. But anyway, folks, that's our show for today. We want to thank you so much for tuning in to listening and viewing the segment today. Pete, any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
Again, just like you said, thank you for watching. As always, every week I say, protect yourself at all times.
Love on each other.
Yeah, love on each other, man, and protect your family, protect your loved ones, protect your friends, man, and be safe this week.
All right. Well, that's it for us, folks. Thanks again for tuning in to Our Voice 360, our perspectives, our ways. Be safe, be blessed, and we're out.
Peace.
If you enjoyed this podcast, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel so you can be notified when a new show drops. Please rate and review this podcast and share it with your friends. Also, if you'd like to advertise or become a sponsor, please send an email to ourvoice360@gmail.com with your inquiry. We'll connect with you as soon as possible in hopes of creating a great partnership. And as always, thank you for tuning in to Our Voice 360, our perspectives, our way, keeping you in the know while you're on the go. See you next week.